Walking, something so natural and essential to our daily lives, can become more challenging as we grow older. Perhaps you've noticed a bit of stiffness in your knees, a loss of balance, or even just a general feeling of fatigue that makes walking less appealing than it used to be. You're not alone in this experience, and today we're going to explore some simple, gentle solutions together. Let me introduce you to Paul, a retired carpenter who spent most of his life on his feet. Paul loved morning strolls around his neighborhood, chatting with neighbors, enjoying the fresh air, and simply moving his body. But in recent years, he found himself walking less and less. The steps that once felt effortless now seemed harder to take, leaving Paul frustrated and unsure of how to regain his mobility. What Paul didn't realize at first, and what so many of us might overlook, is that walking less isn't just about getting older. It's often a combination of factors: joint discomfort, reduced muscle strength, balance issues, and even a lack of confidence. But here's the good news. With a few gentle adjustments and some encouragement, it's entirely possible to keep moving and regain the joy of walking. You see, our bodies are incredibly resilient, and they respond beautifully to the right kind of care. Walking isn't just about keeping physically active. It's also a way to stay connected to the world around us, to nurture our independence, and to maintain our overall well-being. So, as we begin this journey together, I want you to keep one thing in mind. This isn't about pushing yourself to do more than you're comfortable with. It's about finding small, manageable steps that fit into your life. Steps that feel good and support your unique needs. Let's take the first step toward understanding what might be holding us back and how we can move forward with confidence. Before we can improve our ability to walk comfortably, we need to look at the foundation of every step, our muscles and joints. Over time, natural wear and tear on our bodies can lead to stiffness, weakness, or even discomfort, especially in areas like the knees, hips, and ankles. But here's the thing. Our muscles and joints thrive when we give them gentle attention and care. Let me introduce you to Irene, an avid gardener who always took pride in tending to her flowers and vegetables. In recent years, Irene started noticing that her knees would ache after just a few minutes of walking. She began avoiding her beloved strolls around the garden, worried that she might make the pain worse. When Irene shared her concerns with her doctor, she was surprised to learn that gentle, low-impact exercises could actually help reduce her discomfort and strengthen her joints. She started with seated leg lifts, a simple movement she could do from the comfort of her favorite chair. Here's how it works. Sit in a sturdy chair with your back straight and feet flat on the floor. Slowly extend one leg out in front of you, keeping it straight. Hold it for a few seconds, then lower it back down. Repeat this 10 times for each leg, gradually increasing the repetitions as it feels comfortable. Irene also added gentle ankle rotations to her routine, which improved her flexibility and helped her feel more stable on her feet. She'd sit on her porch in the mornings, enjoying her tea while rotating her ankles in slow circles, first clockwise, then counterclockwise. It became a relaxing ritual she looked forward to each day. For those who want to take it a step further, resistance bands can be a wonderful addition to your routine. These lightweight, stretchy bands are easy to use and can help build strength without putting stress on your joints. For example, placing the band around your thighs and gently pressing your knees outward can strengthen your hip muscles, which are crucial for balance and walking stability. But it's not just about exercises. Taking care of our joints means giving them the support they need throughout the day. Comfortable, supportive footwear is key. Look for shoes with cushioned soles, proper arch support, and a snug but not tight fit. Irene replaced her worn-out gardening shoes with a new pair designed for comfort, and she noticed an immediate difference in how her knees felt after walking. Strengthening your muscles and supporting your joints doesn't require hours of effort. It's about consistency. dedicating just a few minutes each day to movements that feel good for your body. And as Irene discovered, these small acts of care can have a ripple effect, making each step feel a little lighter and more confident. When we think about walking, it's easy to focus on our legs and feet, but balance and stability are just as important, if not more so, when it comes to feeling secure and confident with every step. Over time, our balance can naturally decline, often without us realizing it, making us more hesitant to move freely. The good news is that balance. Consider Alice, a retired teacher who always enjoyed exploring nature trails with her husband. Over the past year, Alice began to notice that she was stumbling more often, especially on uneven ground. She found herself avoiding certain paths she once loved, afraid of a fall that might lead to injury. Alice decided to take action by incorporating balance exercises into her daily routine. Her favorite became the heel-to-toe walk, a simple yet powerful activity that helped her regain confidence in her footing. Here's how you can do it too. Stand near a wall or sturdy surface for support, just in case you feel unsteady. Place one foot directly in front of the other so the heel of your front foot touches the toes of your back foot. Take a slow step forward, placing the heel of your opposite foot in front of your toes. Continue walking this way for about 10 steps, focusing on keeping your balance. Alice found that practicing this walk each morning gave her more stability, and over time, she was able to take longer walks with her husband without fear. Another excellent exercise is the single-leg stand, which strengthens your core and improves balance. Stand next to a counter or sturdy chair for support. Lift one foot off the ground and hold the position for 10-15 seconds. Lower your foot and repeat on the other side. Gradually increase the time as you feel more stable. For added variety, Alice also discovered that yoga and Tai Chi are wonderful activities for improving balance. These gentle, flowing movements help strengthen the body while promoting relaxation and focus. Alice joined a local beginner's Tai Chi class where she met others who shared her goals. The supportive community became an unexpected bonus, boosting her confidence even further. Of course, balance isn't just about exercises. It's also about making small adjustments to your environment to feel safer and more secure. For example, use non-slip mats in your bathroom and kitchen. Ensure your home is well lit, especially in hallways and staircases. Remove any tripping hazards like loose rugs or cluttered walkways. Alice implemented these changes in her own home, giving her an added sense of security as she moved around. Improving balance is a journey, and it's not about perfection. Each small step, whether it's a simple exercise or a thoughtful adjustment to your space, brings you closer to feeling steady and confident. And as Alice discovered, finding your balance doesn't just support your walking, it opens the door to enjoying life's adventures with greater ease and joy. Pain and discomfort are common reasons why walking becomes more challenging as we age. Whether it's joint stiffness, muscle aches, or lingering soreness, these sensations can make even short walks feel daunting. But here's the encouraging truth. There are practical, gentle ways to manage pain and ease your body back into motion. Let me share the story of Janet, a retired seamstress who always loved taking evening walks to enjoy the sunset. Over time, Janet developed arthritis in her hips, which made walking increasingly uncomfortable. She found herself avoiding her evening routine, missing the peace and joy it brought her. Janet knew she needed to address the discomfort before it limited her further, so she sought out solutions that worked for her body. The first thing Janet learned was the importance of listening to her body. Pain is the body's way of signaling that something needs attention, and ignoring it can lead to further strain. By paying close attention to what aggravated her hips and what relieved them, Janet was able to make adjustments that reduced her discomfort. One of her biggest breakthroughs came from incorporating gentle stretches into her day. Stretching helps improve flexibility, reduce stiffness, and promote better circulation, all of which can ease discomfort. Janet's favorite stretch for her hips is the seated butterfly stretch. Sit on a sturdy chair with your back straight and feet flat on the floor. Place your hands on your knees and gently push them outward while keeping your feet together. Hold this position for 10-15 seconds, then release. Repeat this stretch 3 times, gradually increasing the hold as it feels comfortable. Janet also discovered the benefits of heat therapy for managing pain. Using a warm compress or heating pad on her hips for 15 minutes each evening helped relax her muscles and reduce stiffness, making walking feel easier. For many people, managing pain also involves considering low-impact activities that build strength without putting strain on the joints. Janet started swimming twice a week at her local community pool, a form of exercise that's gentle on the body but highly effective for building strength and endurance. The buoyancy of the water supported her hips, allowing her to move freely without pain. Beyond these physical strategies, Janet also explored options for external support, such as wearing compression sleeves for additional stability and cushioning. These simple aids can make a big difference, especially for those experiencing discomfort in the knees, ankles, or hips. Lastly, Janet made a point to stay in communication with her healthcare provider. Together, they discussed over-the-counter pain relief options and tailored her approach to managing arthritis. Janet found comfort in knowing she had a trusted partner to guide her through the process. Over time, Janet was able to return to her evening walks. She still listened to her body, taking breaks when needed and modifying her routine when her hips felt particularly sore. But most importantly, she reclaimed the simple joy of moving through her neighborhood at sunset, a moment of peace she'd been missing. Pain can feel like a barrier, but with the right strategies and support, it's possible to move through it and find relief. Like Janet, you can take steps, both literal and metaphorical, toward greater comfort and confidence. It starts with being kind to yourself and taking small, intentional actions that honor your body's needs. Walking is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to stay active and maintain overall health. But when it feels difficult or less enjoyable, building a consistent routine can seem overwhelming. The key is to start small, celebrate your progress, and focus on what feels good for your body. Let's explore how to make walking a sustainable and rewarding part of your day. Take Paul, for example. After years of being on his feet as a carpenter, he'd grown accustomed to constant movement. But as walking became harder, Paul realized he needed a new approach, one that prioritized his current abilities while still encouraging him to stay active. His first step was setting achievable goals. Paul started with short, manageable walks around his backyard. Instead of aiming for long distances, he focused on walking for 5 minutes at a time. He didn't worry about speed or distance. His only goal was to move consistently. Over the weeks, as he grew more comfortable, Paul gradually increased his time to 10, then 15 minutes. Here's how you can do something similar. Start by identifying a safe, familiar route, a path in your neighborhood, a park trail, or even a few laps around your home. Set a time goal that feels doable, even if it's just 5 minutes to begin with. Track your progress using a simple notebook or calendar. Mark each day you walk and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. To make walking more enjoyable, Paul also added variety to his routine. On sunny days, he walked to a nearby pond to watch the ducks. On cooler days, he strolled through a local mall, taking in the sights without worrying about the weather. Changing the scenery kept his walks interesting and gave him something to look forward to. Another strategy Paul used was finding a walking buddy. His neighbor Margaret had also been looking for a way to stay active, so they started walking together once a week. the companionship made the activity more enjoyable and motivated them to stay consistent. If you don't have a walking buddy nearby, consider joining a local walking group or participating in a community event like a charity walk. For those who enjoy technology, fitness trackers or pedometer apps can be great tools for motivation. Seeing the number of steps you've taken or the distance you've covered can be incredibly rewarding. Paul loved checking his step count at the end of the day, and it inspired him to keep moving. Lastly, Paul learned the importance of warming up and cooling down. Before each walk, he spent a few minutes doing light stretches, like reaching for his toes or gently twisting his torso. After his walk, he cooled down with slower movements and a deep breathing exercise. These simple routines helped prevent soreness and made walking feel more comfortable. Consistency is the foundation of any successful routine, and the beauty of walking is that it's adaptable to your needs. Whether it's a few steps in your garden, a stroll with a friend, or a longer walk as you build endurance, each step you take is a step toward better health and greater independence. Paul's journey reminds us that it's not about how far or how fast you walk. It's about showing up for yourself and taking those steps one at a time. And as you find your rhythm, you'll likely discover not just physical benefits, but also a sense of accomplishment and joy in the simple act of moving. Walking is so much more than just physical movement. It's an act of self-care, a moment of connection with the world around us, and a way to rediscover our independence and vitality. As we wrap up this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on how walking can bring joy and purpose back into our daily lives. Consider Margaret, Paul's walking buddy. Margaret initially joined Paul on his walks as a way to stay active, but over time, it became something much deeper. She started to notice the simple pleasures she had overlooked for years. The sound of birds chirping in the morning, the rustling of leaves underfoot, the way the light changed as the day unfolded. Walking wasn't just exercise for Margaret, it was a chance to feel alive and connected to her surrounding. Margaret also discovered the power of walking to nurture her mental health. Each step became an opportunity to clear her mind and find peace in the present moment. On particularly stressful days, she used her walks as a form of meditation, focusing on her breath and the rhythm of her steps. It became a practice that soothed her mind and lifted her spirits. For Janet, who we met earlier, walking became a way to rebuild her sense of independence. After months of managing her hip discomfort, she reached a point where she could walk to the corner store by herself, a small victory that felt monumental. Janet shared that being able to carry her own groceries again made her feel capable and strong, even in the face of challenges. Rediscovering the joy of walking isn't about comparing yourself to others or striving for perfection. It's about finding the beauty in your own journey. Whether it's a leisurely stroll around your neighborhood, a purposeful walk to complete an errand, or a nature walk to soak in the sights and sounds of the outdoors, each step is meaningful. To make walking even more enjoyable, consider combining it with something you love. Listen to your favorite music, an audiobook, or a podcast as you walk. Turn your walk into a social activity by inviting friends or family to join you. If you enjoy photography, bring a camera or your phone to capture moments that inspire you along the way. It's also important to celebrate your progress. Keep a journal or calendar where you can jot down your walking milestones, no matter how small. Over time, you'll see how far you've come, and that sense of accomplishment can be incredibly motivating. Finally, remember to be patient with yourself. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's okay. Walking is a journey, not a destination. By showing up for yourself with kindness and consistency, you're honoring your body and prioritizing your well-being. So, as we close this chapter, I invite you to take a moment and think about your next step, literally and figuratively. Whether it's walking around your living room, venturing outside for a quick stroll, or setting a new goal for yourself, know that every step matters. Walking is a gift, a way to connect with yourself, your community, and the world around you. Embrace it with curiosity and gratitude, and you'll find that each step has the potential to bring you closer to a life filled with confidence, joy, and purpose. Thank you for sharing this journey with me today. Remember, you're never walking alone. The Elder Voice is here to support you every step of the way. Take care, my friends, and keep moving forward, one step at a time.